Now you can play your favorite TV game show anytime. You're the contestant. Compete against your friends or match wits with the computer. Press the button, hear the theme music, spin the wheel, and win a fortune. Hit bankrupt and lose it all. You get everything you see on TV, great graphics and animation, a colorful spinning wheel, and our very own blonde hostess to turn the letters. Even the music is authentic. There are over 1,000 challenging puzzles to keep you guessing, and if you're stuck, you can always buy a vowel. Get set to spin? It's time to play Wheel of Fortune. It's Wheel of Fortune from GameTech in 1988. One thing I want to talk about real quick before we get started. Where is it? Let me read this line for you again. You get everything you see on TV. Great graphics and animation. Yes. Wheel of Fortune, American television game show created by Merv Griffin. He's 800 years old. Premiering in, think about this. Wheel of Fortune premiered in 1975 and had a syndicated version finally airing in 1983. Since 1986, though, the show has been adapted into various video games, most, if not all, based on the syndicated nighttime version. Most versions released before 1988 were published by GameTech, which folded later that year, which, honestly, it's too bad, because GameTech basically just did NES, well, not just NES versions, but basically they did game show video games. And they were all pretty good. GameTech did alright. The modern versions of Wheel of Fortune video games feature co-host Vanna White. She's been in them since 1982, and host Pat Sajak since 1981. From 98 to 2010, the show's announcer Charlie O'Donnell participated, with the last of the games were released after his death. Video games released include a computer game for older Mac computers, a version for the Commodore 64, a game for the NES, released before the overhaul of the bonus round during the big month of cash, a version for the Super Nintendo, Genesis, and N64. There are several PC versions as well as some arcade versions. In addition, there are several handheld game versions as well as a slot machine version of the game. The NES version is the second of the two to be released, the first one being for the Commodore 64 a year before. That was published by Share Data. The NES one was designed by Rare, and each player enters their selection by using a controller to scroll through the alphabet contained in a string along the bottom of the screen. We lose a turn if we take too much time. A player attempting to solve the puzzle has to enter the exact solution to be credited with a victory. This game, and both subsequent versions, featured 3 rounds, a wheel that never changed values or templates. The top value, basically on every round, was $1,000, and round 3 is the speed-up round with a final spin. The player advances to the bonus round, they choose a prize to play for, and try and solve the final puzzle by choosing 5 consonants and 1 vowel. This is before RST, LNE were given in the offset. Also, there is a hidden Coca-Cola logo hidden amongst the game sprites that is not used anywhere in the game itself. Merv Griffin Productions, at the time, was owned by Coca-Cola. There is a junior edition for the NES, which was also developed by Rare. This edition uses puzzles more identifiable to children and prizes to match. There's the Wheel of Fortune Family Edition for the NES, also designed by Rare. This one does not feature the show's then-current Changing Keys theme, unlike both previous games. This edition follows more child-friendly prizes and puzzles. There's Wheel of Fortune featuring Vanna White, which was released for DOS and the NES. And then we have all the later games, the N64 games, PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, DS and Wii, blah, 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 blah. Arcade versions, tons of stuff. Tons of stuff. You know what? As goofy as it might be, I find these games a lot of fun. The GameTech ones especially. They're just pretty cool. You know, it's nice to get a couple people together, have a few beverages, not in the junior edition kind of beverages, and play some Wheel of Fortune. Why not? What else you gonna do on a Friday night? If you're watching this, probably not much.